Change, whether it be drastic or subtle, is often something that undoubtedly frightens people. It is the genuine belief that when you have become accustomed to a particular way of doing things, it must be the best way to do it. Change is not merely embracing something unknown, it is giving up something old for something new. There is a common misconception that longevity equals goodness. Many people are loyal to their views, and to alter their perspective is incredibly difficult. However, within the crowd of antiquated individuals lay a man who was not intimidated by change, but welcomed and embraced it. Tommy Douglas advocated and fought for change throughout his long journey to shape our nation into the great place we know today. Tommy is commonly known for giving us universal health care, but he has left us a legacy far greater than that. Tommy was born on October 20th, 1904, in Scotland. Things were difficult for his parents, Tom and Anne, so 6 years into Tommy's life, his family emigrated to Canada. They soon found that their situation was no better here than it was in Scotland, so they went back. Tommy revealed his independence at a young age when he acquired a job making corks for wine bottles, financing himself by the age of 14. In 1919, his parents decided that Canada was better after all, and they immigrated and settled. The family set up residence in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in a community that first exposed Tommy to the movement that combined Christianity with the struggle for social justice and greater equality. His religious-based upbringing and his humble working-class family provide a strong background for his politics and faith. He became involved in church work. A few years down the line, in 1924, Tommy enrolled in Brandon College to study theology. He soon became interested in pursuing a career in the ministry. Over the years, he had begun to embrace the social gospel, a belief that Christianity is above all social religions and is incredibly concerned with improving the lives of people and this world. Tommy soon had to move to Weyburn, Saskatchewan to follow his ordination in 1930. The province had been hit extremely hard by the economic depression and the drought. Upon arriving, he was greeted with suffering and despair. Tommy's work began initially with aiding the people spiritually, then progressed to the physical needs of the community. He was inspired to make a change, rebuild the fallen community, and address various concerns. Tommy's work became progressively more involved. He took to more academic studies in Christian ethics in hopes of enlightenment. He soon found that political action was necessary. In 1931, he founded a local association for the Independent Labour Party to diminish the suffering he saw around him. 2 years later, he attended the first national convention of the new Socialist Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, known as the CCFs for short. Prior to acknowledging his special skill, when he ran for a seat in political power in 1934, he failed. With encouragement, Tommy tried again, aspiring to be a CCF candidate in the federal elections in 1935. The second time around, he was successful, somewhat because he had exposed his special talent, the ability to make people laugh. The Second World War further convinced Tommy that the socialist path was well-founded. Tommy demonstrated perseverance, ambition, and power in his work, whether he was employed as a preacher or a leader in a political setting. When given the ultimatum of his church or the political career, Tommy took advantage of his freedom and left the church. He did not leave the church due to a fallout in faith, but rather acknowledging the fact that he could make a greater change as a politician. He dedicated all of his efforts to make Canada a great place for its inhabitants. Tommy took a stand in defense of unpopular ideas and opinions of civil liberties. He was soon known as a witty and skillful debater. Tommy claimed the underprivileged and exploited as his constituency. Tommy stepped down from his seat as the MP to contest the Saskatchewan general election. He led the CCFs to a reassuring victory in 1944, becoming the Premier of Saskatchewan. Change was soon to come. He led the first social democratic government elected in North America. Tommy was ahead of the game. His actions not only made his community both progressive and prosperous, but it opened doors for other regions to follow suit. He wanted to ensure equality throughout Canada. He passed various bills and acts which were aimed at social or economical reform, such as the 1947 Bill of Rights, which outlawed any discrimination based on gender or race. There were no bills at the time that resembled this one. In fact, the UN's Declaration of Human Rights came 18 months after. He also passed bills to improve a wide range of public services. He pioneered many programs. He brought electricity to family farms, developed sewage systems to rid themselves of outhouses. He broadened the rights of civil servants, introduced North America's first government auto insurance policy, softened liquor laws allowing women into bars in Saskatchewan. He made a requirement that employers provide a minimum of 2 weeks paid vacation, constructed new roads, and one of the most significant changes was Tommy provided much-needed expansion to healthcare in the province, which later progressed the entire nation. The innovation of the healthcare system certainly did not come easy for Tommy. He faced various barriers. In attempts to discredit him as a politician and turn the public against him, the previously elected representative tried to slander his name. They often told blatant lies about him, saying that he was promoting communism and wanted to change the government to resemble that of the Soviet Union. From a young age, Tommy had been incredibly devoted to the cause. When he was little, he developed a leg infection and was in desperate need of medical attention, but his family could not afford it. They were close to going to the last resort and amputating, until a kind-hearted surgeon agreed to treat Tommy pro bono. It was then that Tommy acquired a spark for change which he carried the rest of his life. Tommy got lucky, but most people were not so fortunate. His work in the church strengthened his devotion, as he saw countless people perish only because they could not afford care. Tommy strongly believed that regardless of an individual's financial status, they should receive medical care. In 1959, his journey towards change began. Tommy's conviction did not always grant him popularity. He faced many difficulties. People were responsible for financing their own medical treatment, a policy which only medical care professionals and the wealthy benefited from. So when push came to shove, they were the primary objectors. What was to come for Tommy was an ugly political battle. The doctors, with the support from the entire North American medical establishment, were incredibly affluent and determined to keep it that way. They took to various measures preventing the change in medical laws. Doctors in Saskatchewan threatened to strike. Some claimed they would leave the province. With the strike of the medical care professionals putting the locals' health in danger, Tommy flew in doctors from overseas. The local doctors took to racism, using slurs and putting on mocking stereotypical characters. They took to all means necessary, telling their clients propaganda stories and blatant lies regarding what would happen should the Medicare system be established. Soon the public went into a state of pandemonium, feeding into the doctors' threats and lies. The people soon left Tommy's side. On July 1st, 1962, the strike began. It was now up to two decisions: Medicare or no Medicare. Surely enough, the doctors abandoned their strike after 3 weeks. Once the medical care system was established in Saskatchewan, other provinces wanted to incorporate universal health care as well. Soon Tommy went to Ottawa. After 6 long years, the Liberal government could no longer resist, and Medicare went national. The outcome of this remains incredibly evident today. In America, the lack of health insurance is associated with as many as 44,790 deaths per year, and 62% of all bankruptcies in the United States in 2007 were due to illness or medical bills. Thanks to Tommy, this is a problem we as Canadians do not have to worry about. Tommy fought relentlessly to introduce the great Canadian treasure of universal health care. Now in Canada, regardless of someone's financial status, race, gender, sexual orientation, or ethnicity, they can receive medical care. Tommy came across an abundance of accomplishments during his 44 years as an elected representative. This is Tommy's legacy.